Hey, what's up, Zoners, and welcome to the earliest waiver wire show on the planet. Today, I am going to be going over all the players I think that you should pick up and how much you should spend on them. It is the finals, dude, so no deep players here, only players that can help you win a championship. And holy shit, man, we're going to be chasing targets, dude. We have a tight end, 10 plus targets. Dude, he had 12 targets today, 10 targets last week. And no, I'm not talking about Britton Strange. He's available in 95% of leagues. Oh my God, man. You can start him next week. He gets Jacksonville next week. Holy shit. All right. We also have a wide receiver, 32 targets over the last 3 weeks. He doesn't get a ton of yards, man, but if you're in PPR, he is a locked-in flex rest of the season. Come on, man. I've got all my notes typed out. I will share that with you in 7 seconds. All right, remember, this is an early waiver wire show, so I will be adding players after the afternoon games. I'm shooting this, man, during halftime of the afternoon games, for God's sakes. If you want to add players yourself, please do that in the comments. It's a group effort, man. We need help here. So anyways, let's start off with wide receivers. This guy has not played yet, but I know he's going to do well, okay? Jalen McMillan, 33% rostered, 30% fab I spent on him, 21.4% target share, and this ever since, what's his name, went out, Godwin. They've been looking for the wide receiver too. Then Evans came back. He was able to work the slot. 3 touchdowns over the last 2 games. He gets Carolina, which you'd think would be an amazing matchup, but they give up the 13th fewest fantasy points per game to wide receivers. So still, man, Jalen McMillan in your flex next week. Holy shit, let's do it. And then this guy already played this week. Amazing for PPR. 10 targets, 11 targets, 12 targets. Next week, he should have fucking 13 targets, okay? 37.4% rostered. Wan'Dale Robinson. We've been talking about him all season long. He's been a borderline flex all season long, and now he's hitting a hot streak for targets, man. Go look it up yourself. 25% fob I spent on him. 32% target share this week. Okay, I get his Danny DeVito out there tossing passes. Tommy's cousin, all right? 20 targets over the last 2 games heading into this week. 11th most in the NFL, 24% target share each of those 2 games. But he only has 38 receiving yards in those 2 games, and now he got 62. So you have to be full PPR to flex this guy, dude. But his floor is amazing right now. Andre Yoshivas. Hey, who talked about him in the preseason? I did, and then he caught a touchdown, and I never heard from him again. Okay, well, guess what? He's back. 3 receptions on 3 targets for 53 yards and a touchdown versus Cleveland week 16. Higgins left that game with an ankle injury. And so we need to monitor this. We're picking him up just in case. But remember, when Higgins was out before, it was Gesicki going off. So Gesicki might get the boost, but Yoshivas, definitely worth picking up. And then, hey, man, this actually makes me like him even more. Versus Denver week 17. Denver giving up a ton of points to wide receivers lately. They're up to 12th fewest. They were like the fewest probably a month ago, and they have been bleeding points to wide receivers every single week. But not Patrick Surtain. And who do you think Patrick Surtain's going to cover, man? He's going to be covering Jamar Chase, which means Andre Yoshivas should have some more opportunities. And what's this, man? I had De'Ami Brown here for a minute in the first half of the game. Then Olamide Zacharias, dude, he's available everywhere. I don't know if you owned him. Shout out to the 1% out there. 1% fab I spent on him because who knows, man? This could literally be De'Ami Brown next week. They threw 5 touchdowns against Philadelphia. As soon as Jalen Hurts went down, man, they could not move the ball, and Philadelphia's defense was on the field like 90% of the time. That shit was crazy. They were tired by the end of the game. So this Zacharias, man, 8 targets, that led the team. He was second on the team in targets last week. 70 yards and 2 touchdowns this week. Noah Brown out, and Ertz was hobbled. Okay, I thought Ertz was actually going to do a lot better. Obviously, he was more injured than I thought. Tied for second in targets last week, like I said. And then guess what, man? He gets Atlanta. Atlanta can't stop shit, but they can stop the run. So Atlanta week 17, the 5th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. Hey, man, if you want to roll the dice on a second option for Jaden McDaniels, it looks like Zacharias or whatever will at least get you like 5 points. And maybe upside, dude. You got touchdowns, man. Next up, the running backs. I just saw this. I'm a James Conner owner. All right. He got me like, I don't know, 20-something points. And then left in the 3rd quarter. 0.1% rostered. 50% fab, I guess. If Conner does not go next week. Trey Benson's out with an ankle injury. Conner left the game. DeMarcado's on IR. Dude, who the fuck is going to be running the ball here? At the Rams, week 17. Rams defensive line is playing a lot better, but still, man, it's not a scary matchup to me. 14th fewest fantasy points per game. That's pretty average. Michael Carter, man, you can start him next week if James Conner can't go. Then Patrick Taylor has not played yet this week, but CMC out, Garindo out. 58% snap share after Garindo left last week. And hey, this offense, you want the running back in this offense. That's the way it goes. Brock Purdy he's not throwing the ball a ton. Ever since he hurt his shoulder, they've been running the ball a lot more than they were before. And then versus Detroit week 17, you cannot throw the ball. You cannot run the ball against them, but still, 4th fewest fantasy points per game to running backs. Running backs are valuable, man. If you have one, especially from the San Francisco 49ers, he's going to be a running back 2 for you. So Patrick Taylor, spend your money, pick him up. Kendre Miller, I'm excited to see how he does today. I have not seen it yet. Alvin Kamara out. Taysom out. 36% missed tackle rate. So almost 3 yards per carry after contact per carry, what I'm trying to say. That is not terrible. Versus Las Vegas. In a week, 15th most fantasy points per game to running backs. I like going against Las Vegas right now. They were actually playing really well against the pass. The defense was playing a lot better like halfway through the season. They've been kind of falling apart over the last month. Alexander Madison, man, speaking about the Raiders, he's back. He's starting. 47.6% rostered. You got to go pick him up if you can. Sincere is out. 19 plus touches and 2 games of 15 plus fantasy points during his 4 weeks as a starter, weeks 5 through 8. I checked the box score. He got the first carries, man, the first touches of this game. So Alexander Madison, dude, should be over 50% owned. Holy shit. And then Craig Reynolds is the handcuff to own, apparently. All right, the other guy got a couple carries or a couple receptions, but Craig Reynolds got 1 reception and a couple, 4 rushes. So Montgomery is out. It looks like he's the handcuff to own for the Lions in case Gibbs gets injured during practice. Whatever, dude. And San Francisco is giving up the 13th most fantasy points per game to running backs. That's a good matchup, man. And and also I want to add on all of your handcuffs as well. If you have a stud that is carrying you through to the championship, you better pick up his goddamn handcuff this week. Tight ends, man, Strange. All right, I know he's going to do well. 12 targets, 28% target share. Last week with Ingram out. Evan Ingram done for the season. He was a tight end 9 for a month. For 3 weeks, 4 weeks, man. That's a month, right? Weeks 2 through 5 when Evan Ingram was out. So Britton Strange, man, versus Tennessee. 8th fewest fantasy points per game to tight ends. I don't care. Britton Strange, great play next week. And I'm excited about this guy, man. Chig Okonkwo. 2 weeks ago, 2 different quarterbacks this guy's been doing this with, man. They decided to start targeting this fool. He has been injured a lot of the season, and now he's fully healthy. 6% rostered, man. So 95% available pretty much. 25% fab, I'd blow on him. If you need a tight end, this is the guy to own. I mean, him and Strange, I'm going to see how Strange performs this week. I'd probably go with the better quarterback, and that's Mac Jones, I guess. But still, man, on the same tier almost. Rudolph starting, 10 plus targets in each of the last 2 games. And then guess what, man? He gets Jacksonville. And they give up the 10th most fantasy points per game to tight ends. And they give up a ton of points to quarterbacks. So I'm expecting Mason Rudolph to have a decent game next week. And, hey, Chig Okonkwo to be the benefactor there. Then quarterbacks. I got one quarterback for you, man. Caleb Williams, 44% owned. I thought Stafford was going to do well. You saw that shit. You saw in the same game, Aaron Rodgers was supposed to do well. He only threw 1 touchdown. All right. Caleb Williams threw the ball 40 times, man. Give me some opportunity there. Like, it was mostly garbage time. They had to catch up to Detroit from the first goddamn quarter. 2 touchdowns versus Detroit. But he does have multiple touchdown passes in 4 of his last 5 games. That's what we like. 21 plus fantasy points in 3 of the last 5 games. And now we get Seattle, and Sam Darnold's actually playing pretty well against Seattle right now. So 15th fewest fantasy points per game to quarterbacks. That is average. Give it to me, man. I think Caleb Williams, you can stream next week. All right, everybody, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's short, man, but these are players that can help right now. Add some players if you do not mind. Come back and see if I added players as well, man. This is a championship, dude. We do not want to be starting people that only had 1 good week. We're looking for maybe 2 weeks at least, maybe some consistency here. So hopefully you like the show. If you actually did like the show, please give me a thumbs up. That gives me the chance, man, to go into more computers, go into more people's eyeballs, and maybe they will like me and press like as well, man. Chain reaction, dude. So please be part of this chain. Hopefully I earned that thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription, man. Look at our subscriptions, dude. We're trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. We can't do that without you. Please do that. This is Tyler Big Turd War. This is Fantasy Red Zone. We got some shit coming out soon. Go check out Jason's offensive line report. People love that show. And it usually tells you what's going to happen in the future. So go tell the future. Watch that. Catch you on the flip side.